Alright guys, no gameplay today, but I wanted to talk to you guys about the new Waffen event. That also means there's an unveiling of a new tank, the Chieftain Prototype, and I have some concerns on the tank because I think when it has the name Chieftain in it, everyone kind of assumes it's going to be a phenomenal tank like the Tier 10 is. However, there's a few stats from the files that you can see yourself when you do the tank comparison here that kind of I'm concerned about with the tank. So obviously everything's the same with the damage. Everyone has, I think everyone except for the Concept 1B has a 120 millimeter. The Concept 1B has a 110 millimeter, I believe, caliber gun. The rate of fire is slightly lower, so the DPM is going to be a bit lower than its peers, M103 being the best, since that tank was buffed. Traverse speed is actually not as good as the Conqueror or the Phase. Well, obviously the Concept 1B is very fast. Dispersion is slightly 0.01 better than the Concept 1B and AE Phase 1, but everyone's pretty comparable. The Conqueror obviously being the best. You can see the damage per minute here. Actually 200 lower than everyone else, and then almost about 400 lower than the M103. So the gun is okay. We might have to take a look at some of the soft stats to see the full picture there. The turret is good. However, we should also take a look at the armor model because there's some concerns that I have with the hull, at least, not the turret. The turret looks really great, except for the cupola is a bit bigger. I think actually the Conqueror's turret's probably the best out of all the turrets here. Has the smallest weak spot. But here's where we get to the biggest issue. The engine power is only 780, whereas all these have 900. The specific power is 15. So you're really going to be as, around between an AE Phase 1 and a Conqueror and an M103, mobility-wise. And you know that the Concept 1B is infamous for its phenomenal mobility, and you see that here. 40 top speed is a little bit better than the Phase 1. However, you're going to be struggling a little bit to get up to there because with that only 15.6 power to weight. I have a feeling this tank is going to be slightly faster than a Conqueror, but not really that fast, and I don't think anyone would say that the Conqueror is a very quick tank. And then 390 view range. Unfortunately, they did not give it 400 like everyone else. So there's a little bit of concern that I have. The damage per minute and then the engine power. And then the hull is horrible. Look at that, 80. Pretty much everything is going to go through the hull. We'll have to see how angled the upper plate is. So let's take a look at the armor model. Alright, so I still have the tanks here. I think tanks GG is a little bit not necessarily fully accurate because they still have this forward speed as 35, which is not true. We saw it as 40 in the game files. But we can see that the dispersion values are worse than everyone else. It's worse than the Conqueror. It's slightly better than the AE Phase 1. It's the same as M103, but the M103 has better dispersion while moving and during turret traverse. So I think the dispersion is actually, this is going to be interesting to see in game how these numbers fare. So the gun handling may not be as, it's definitely not going to be as good as a Conqueror, but it may be like AE Phase 1 or M103 level, which is just, it's still like relatively good, but I think it might be still a little bit worse in that regard. And then, like we said, the hull camo, we don't really care about that. Alright, so let's take a look at the armor profile. So we can see that the hull armor, it's saying it's 70 degrees. So I mean, it's pretty well angled. However, like if you're like looking at it as you would, because you're shooting down from your turret, which is going to be above, this hole is pretty much paper. Everything's going through this hole. So you really got to be sitting hull down. Let's see about the turret if we're looking straight on. I mean, that's a pretty great turret. That cupola is pretty big though. But if we're using like all of our gun depression, that's great, right? There's only a little bit of area you can shoot there. And then this upper plate is auto ricochet, which is great. However, when you start to look at if you're going to side scrape like this is the problem. Look at this angle on the side here. This kind of reminds me of the FE FE215. Wait, is it the FE215? Yeah, the old one that was the Conqueror replaced, the rear mounted one that you can get for bonds, that the trash tank. Yeah, this side is, even if you're like barely angling out, right? This you're gonna get shot here before you even can see the guys when you're on the corner here, right? Like obviously you don't want to hit here. It's deceiving this angle here, but like even here you can hit. I mean, it's small, but like you can hit all of that. And then if not, you just aim for this area. I don't know why they modeled it like this. It's like this ring here. This is like a huge weak spot. Like it's a weak spot even if you're straight on. Like look at this. Yeah. I don't know how strong this tank's going to be with this paper hull and then these shoulders, because that's kind of what the FE 215 is, right? The shoulders kind of killed that tank. I think the more people realize that this is a weak spot, especially with the gold rounds that people are going to probably fire at this thing, I don't know how good this is. So I will still probably end up, coughing up the cash to get it, but this is kind of concerning me on the how overpowered this tank will be. So let's take a look at the Waffen trigger event, and I'll show you guys what I have. So in order to get this event, it's every 50 crates you get a guaranteed drop, but you only get something that you don't have. So I currently do not have a Chieftain T95. I don't have an M4Y. I don't have the ML. I don't have a VK, and I don't have a Panzer 7. No, wait, no, I do have this. I don't have this. So I don't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tanks. So in order for me to guarantee this, I'll have to open 350 boxes. So yeah, and I'm assuming 100 bucks is about $100. I think that's how the rates went down, but I could be wrong. It might be $150. We'll see how much it ends up being, but yeah, we'll see if I end up going for this. It might be very expensive. Another is KTTS. I'm not really interested in that, but based on this, the statistics, I'm not sure if people are gonna be surprised or pleasantly surprised, or kind of like the the Object 780, like people spent so many, so much free experience, so much gold like I did to convert, just for a tank that's kind of lackluster, to be honest. So let me know in the comments if you guys are gonna be trying to go for the Chieftain or not, and yeah, let me know your thoughts on this. So thank you guys for watching. Warm out.